Hi everybody, I'm Christy Forsyth with Clarity by Christy, and I'm here for you today to talk about discomfort. So we are in this really interesting energetic time. We are going through a lot as a collective. If you haven't caught my video from Tuesday where I'm talking about what the heck is going on with the energy and how we can best navigate it right now, you're going to want to make sure that you check that out because there's some really important stuff in there. My Tuesday videos are really important because we cover all the important stuff for how to get through the period, how to get through the week, what's going on, and all that stuff. So make sure you go back and you watch that video if you haven't already, because there's important things in there. But I want to talk about discomfort because I'm getting so many messages from you guys. It's amazing whenever it's like a Mercury retrograde or we are making our way through some of these heavier energies. My phone, my inbox just absolutely blows up, and it's people who are saying, I don't know if I can do this, I'm so uncomfortable, this is a lot, I'm really struggling, this energy is crazy, whatever it is. But I get so many messages. So even if I didn't know when these energetic times were more challenging, I would know based on the trends because I'm here to help, and I hear from so many people. So I recognize that so many of us, I'm going to include myself in this because there's been a lot of discomfort for me as well. I'm not immune to this energy. In fact, I'm kind of built to report on the energy, and so I'm going through it with all of you, okay? So this is not about preaching. This is about me going through it with you and what I've learned in going through it and what I want to share with all of you. So I'm going to tell a little story of how clarity came to be, because it's really a great representation of discomfort leading to helping you to be on your best path. There is a concept that Esther Hicks, if you're familiar at all with Esther Hicks, shares. She calls it contrast. And contrast is basically your discomfort showing you the way. Basically, it's God, the universe, whatever that is for you, is making you uncomfortable to help you to move, to help you to change, to help you to shift. And that was absolutely my experience in the work that I used to do. I used to work as a licensed mental health counselor and did that for years and was really happy and really comfortable where I was at. And had you asked me then, I would have said, I'll stay here forever, I'll retire from here. But what's amazing is that when it was time for me to go, I started to get really uncomfortable. And for me, that looked just internal at first, right? So I just started to feel more anxious at work. I started to feel less fulfilled in the work. I started to ask questions like, oh, maybe it's time for me to go somewhere else. I started to just take a look at my life as a whole and question things. What do I need to change? What am I uncomfortable about? What's going on with me? And it really started this process. And right around that time is when I started to reconnect with my intuition. I started to do a lot of this work on intuition development and things like that, along with my former business partner, Nicole. And we were just in this process together, right? And it kind of pushed me into that. And I found that felt good, that felt right. And it helped with this discomfort that I was feeling, and ultimately led to us starting a business together and us getting an office together and doing that part-time to start. And had that discomfort not been there, I don't know that I would have pushed through. I don't know that I would have really looked around and thought about different options because I had been so comfortable in the work that I was doing prior to that. And then, so I was doing that part-time, and then I started to get even more uncomfortable. So I noticed that when I was here at Clarity, I felt so joyful and happy and fulfilled, and like I was helping people in these amazing ways. And where I was at just felt old. It felt uncomfortable. It felt like it was no longer a fit for me. And the amazing thing about contrast and the universe making you uncomfortable is it will make you really uncomfortable if you don't listen. And so I wasn't really listening to that intuitive voice that was saying, you know what, it's really time for you to consider switching over full time because I really liked the comfort of having that other work, and I didn't feel as though I had built clarity up enough to be able to make that transition. And so I didn't make the leap. I didn't make the change just yet, even though Nicole had already done that ahead of me and was here and happy full time. And I was recognizing that I wanted that for myself, but I was feeling really, really scared. So then the universe stepped in and made me more uncomfortable. And that came in the form of, some changes within the administration in the work that I was in. And suddenly I was answering to different people, and it was a very different energy. And it was, how do I say this nicely? It wasn't in alignment with who I am or how I would prefer to do things. And so I got more and more uncomfortable. And I had this day where I went on my lunch break. I just needed to get out of the office, and I drove over to the Wegmans parking lot and was just sitting there crying because I was so uncomfortable and I was so unhappy. And that was kind of an aha moment for me, and that probably actually was a Mercury retrograde period. I didn't really know much about those things back then, but it was very much an aha moment for me because I recognized that I'm crying in the middle of my day. I wasn't even sure why, but I just knew that I hated what I was doing and I was really uncomfortable, and it pushed me to ultimately that same week make the decision that I was going to transition into being here at Clarity full time. And you know what? I've never really looked back. It's taken a little while for things to build. I took the leap, and there was some challenges connected with that. I'm not saying that it hasn't taken me a while to build it, but at the end of the day, I know in my heart and I know in my soul that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And so it got a whole lot more comfortable after that. So my point is that if you're finding yourself feeling really uncomfortable right now, because this energy is shining a light on our shadows, it is shining a light on the stuff that we need to take a look at, whether it's the stuff within ourselves, whether it's the stuff outside of ourselves, whether it's our job, our relationships, our self-talk, whatever it is that we're experiencing, it is shining a light on the work that we need to do. Oh, hold on, let me just get rid of this notification. So it is shining the light on the work that we need to do, and we need to take advantage of that. We need to take a look at that and begin to ask questions. What is this trying to show me? What do I want in my life? And are the things that I have in my life in alignment with that? And what am I missing here? How am I not being honest with myself? Because I think so many times we lie to ourselves. I was lying to myself like, I want to be at Clarity part-time and I want to be at my job part-time, but that just felt comfortable. And the reason I was staying there was because I was afraid. And there was no real reason beyond that other than fear that I was staying there. And so we want to really take a look at that. Why am I doing the things that I'm doing? Why am I living my life the way that I'm living it? And what changes do I need to make? And you might look at the changes you need to make and say, well, holy shit, Christy, that's really big, right? It will take me forever to get there, or I'm not even close. But I'm telling you, if you can take it step by step, day by day, and begin to work in the direction of the things that you want in your life, you can have them. And especially if your soul is telling you that you want these things, probably you're meant to have them. So once you start to take action, I always say that once you put the energy in, this is where God can show up and really help to push that forward even more and help to support you and help magical things happen to make it happen. When I was thinking about starting Clarity and just exploring that, I went to take a look at an office, and the universe, number one, had my yes number as the office number, okay, because I have a yes number, it's 222, that whenever that shows up in my life, I know that whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm on the right track, okay? So not only did the office that I looked at have that number, but it was so ridiculously affordable, I couldn't not take it, and this is the way that God, the universe, can show up for you and start to make some magic happen once you start to take those actions. So take a look at that discomfort, take a look at what is it trying to show you, what is it trying to teach you. Or, the other possibility is not necessarily that you're needing to make changes, but that there are feelings, that there are emotions, because this is such an emotional time right now, that you're needing to process. You're needing to feel your feels. Sometimes we need to grieve the losses. We've been making a lot of changes. We've been doing a lot of shifting. So sometimes we need to just grieve those losses. We need to cry. We need to get angry. We need to let all of the emotion out, because what happens is if we don't do that, then we hold on to that emotion. And when we hold on to that emotion, this is where we get into trouble, because it will come bubbling out or exploding out some other time, and whenever that happens, that's not pretty. Or if you're continuing to try to stuff, you're going to need to do things to numb yourself, and that doesn't really help a whole lot either, because eventually it's going to come out. So through this period, let yourself feel your feels. Let these questions that are coming up for you happen, because they're forcing you to take a look at your life from different perspectives. What do I need to change about me? What do I need to change about my inner circle? What do I need to change about my work? What do I need to change about myself? What do I need to change about my routine? Anything that you're needing to change, it is trying to highlight it. It's trying to show you where you have work to do, because we are always a work in progress. We are always, hopefully anyway, ideally working on ourselves and growing. And so you're always going to have these things that pop up that are uncomfortable to help push you, to help you to grow. Sometimes it's just growing pains as well, this pain that we're experiencing. So hang in there, guys. We are getting through this energy, and I truly believe, I posted about rainbows on the other side of the storm earlier today. I truly believe that on the other side of the storm, there are beautiful and magical rainbows and bright skies, bright sunny skies, and I think that we are going to understand ourselves a whole hell of a lot better on the other side of this. So best of luck to you, and if you want to learn more about me or about Clarity by Christy, you can check me out at discoveryourawakening.com. And of course, I always appreciate when you guys like, comment, share on my videos. It always helps them to reach further and reach the people that it's supposed to reach. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video. Take care, guys.